Donald Trump is adding names to his transition team that will help govern the nation after his arrival to the White House. But that transition is becoming a bit overshadowed by the third night of anti-Trump demonstrations.
And now those protests have come to South Florida. We have team coverage tonight, beginning with Local 10's Andrew Perez. Andrew.
This was a movement that began online and quickly took over. Police saying that at one point there were more than 3,000 protesters on the streets of downtown Miami, and here we are more than 5 hours later at this point, and some of them are still out here. They gathered in large numbers sporting signs. After a quick rally and a few heated words, you have no point. It was time to take a walk. The movement quickly becoming known as #NotMyPresident, referring to President-elect Donald Trump. South Florida taking part in nationwide protests following a heated election, sending a message. They're not happy. Hillary, of course, gave her concession speech. The election is over. What is it that you guys are hoping to accomplish?
We just want to let the world know and that people know that we're going to stand for what's right.
We need to come out and make it aware that this is unacceptable.
Protesters talking about human rights, concerned about Trump's way of talking and changes he's promised to make. The large crowd took to the streets, to the MacArthur Causeway. They just kept on going. The crowd was peaceful, though. Some say they will continue to march for change.
Even though Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders want us to stand behind him, we still have to stand behind what we believe in, which is we believe in the rights of all people. So you're taking a live look again. This crowd has definitely thinned out. One thing I want to reiterate is that we did see that this was a peaceful demonstration. The only thing we did see also was there was somebody, at least one or two different people that were throwing stuff off the balconies at the condos out here. At least one person was injured in that, but otherwise police are saying no real major issues involving any violence. That's the situation in downtown Miami. I'm Andrew Perez, Local 10 News.
Chaotic night. Okay, Andrew, thanks. The protesters creating a massive traffic jam as they crowded the MacArthur Causeway.
Our team coverage continues now with Derek Shore standing by live. Derek.
Well, it was quite a hectic night here in downtown Miami, especially as you mentioned when those protesters came down Biscayne Boulevard here and decided they'd take the on-ramp onto 395.
I believe that we will win.
Anti-Trump protesters bringing the show on the road, taking over the streets of downtown Miami, moving up Biscayne and clogging a major artery leading to Miami Beach, the MacArthur Causeway.
Horrible. It's horrible.
Drivers taking notice of the massive crowds and many more than frustrated. They were caught up in the protest, unable to move.
My commute is already over an hour and now I'm stuck in this for another 45 minutes.
The swarm of people eventually moving back downtown and then at one point getting onto I-95, stopping traffic there as well. Sky 10 caught demonstrators squaring off with a driver who was not backing down, but no one was hurt.
It's all losers, and this country should just unite, no matter who you voted for.
We're just monitoring right now, trying to make sure that they express their First Amendment right, and we just want to make sure that everyone stays safe.
In fact, Miami police blocked roads and in some instances escorted the crowd. Officers saying they were simply trying to keep things from turning dangerous or volatile.
As of right now, things have been very peaceful. There's a few loud voices, but that's natural. That people want to express themselves, they're more than welcome to do so.
And taking a live look at Sky 10, you can still see a smattering of protesters that remain here off of Biscayne Boulevard. Again, most of the crowd has dispersed and moved on. We've seen a number of people walking down Biscayne with signs in hand, headed home, headed back to their cars. As we come back out here live, Andrew mentioned it, but it is worth reiterating here. Very loud voices, but really a very peaceful protest that we were aware of. We're live in downtown Miami. Derek Shore, Local 10 News.
All right, Derek, and Miami isn't the only city that has had protesters take to the streets.
In fact, protests continue across the nation tonight. And for more on that and what's next for the president-elect, let's turn now to Janine Stanwood in our newsroom. Janine?
Lori, there are other protests tonight, but not as many as we've been seeing since the day after the election. Some people upset with Trump's win gathered in Philadelphia to speak out. The rally was sponsored by a group called the Dump Trump Coalition and was joined by members of Black Lives Matter. In Atlanta, protesters stomped through the streets, eventually lighting a fire right in the middle of the road in order to protest the president-elect. And a smattering of protesters walking the streets of downtown Chicago. Fortunately, though, no reports of any violence there. And we're also getting a look at who will help shape Donald Trump's presidency. And one name on the list is Florida's Attorney General Pam Bondi. Trump's transition team was named today, and Mike Pence will be the chair, taking over from Chris Christie. Trump will also get help from Rudy Giuliani, mentioned as a possible attorney general, Newt Gingrich, said to be a possible secretary of state, and Dr. Ben Carson, who could become secretary of education or possibly surgeon general. Also today, Trump already pulling back from his campaign promise to fully repeal the Affordable Care Act on day one. In an interview with 60 Minutes set to air Sunday, Trump said he plans to keep two major provisions of the law.
When you replace it, are you going to make sure that people with preconditions are still covered?
Yes, because it happens to be one of the strongest assets.
You're going to keep that?
Also, with the children living with their parents for an extended period, you're going to keep very
that?
much try and keep that. Adds cost, but it's very much something we're going to try and keep.
So, still more to learn about President-elect Trump's plans and his team. Ivanka Trump's husband is actually on the transition team, and there is talk that he could be considered as a candidate for chief of staff.